The Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, was born in Arabia in 570 AD. Arabia at that time was a place full of idol worshipping. Mecca, the city where he was born, was the center for pilgrimage for idols. There were around 360 idols in or around the Holy Kaaba, as different tribes worshipped different idols. But despite this, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, had an intense love for Allah, the one God. Due to this love, Allah made a prophet. The Holy Prophet's grandfather, Hazrat Abdul Muttalib, had a strong firm belief in a powerful one God who protected the Holy Kaaba, as was shown in the incident with Abrah. When the Abyssinians, led by Abrah, wanted to destroy the Holy Kaaba, it is related that Hazrat Abdul Muttalib approached Abrah to retrieve his confiscated camels. Abrah was surprised and questioned why he cared more about his camels than the Holy Kaaba. Abdul Muttalib replied, "I am the owner of the camels, and the Kaaba has its owner who will protect it." Meaning that Allah, the one God, will protect the Holy Kaaba, which he did. Hazrat Abdul Muttalib most probably followed the Hanifi faith. Hazrat Ibrahim, peace be on him, was known as Hanif, ever inclined to Allah, and named the Holy Prophet's father as Abdullah, servant of Allah. Sadly, his father died before the Holy Prophet was born, and when his mother died when he was 6 years old, he went to live with his grandfather. The Arabs therefore believed that Hazrat Ibrahim, may peace be upon him, and Hazrat Ismail, may peace be upon him, were prophets of the one God called Allah, but over time they thought that Allah only spoke to his prophets. Therefore, they started making idols to intercede with Allah for them. Over more time, they started making these idols more important than Allah, until they worshipped the idols and Allah had become a name of an old God. As a child, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, firmly believed in the oneness of Allah. He grew up with idols all around him, but he turned to Allah and was never inclined to worship idols, therefore, he never worshipped them. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, lived a God-fearing life and was known by his people, the Quraysh, by the titles of As-Siddiq, the truthful one, and Al-Amin, the trustworthy one, and as his reputation grew, everyone knew that this person always told the truth and could be trusted with anything. Growing up in a society where people didn't care about such things, these good qualities shone out, hence why they gave him these titles. Allah was everything to him, and whatever he said or did was for Allah's sake. Before doing anything, it had to be with Allah's blessings. He was always in prayer, seeking the blessings of Allah. He would stand so long in prayers that his feet swelled. Once his wife, Hazrat Aisha, upon seeing his condition became very anxious and said to him, "God has honored you with his love and nearness, why subject yourself to so much discomfort and inconvenience?" The Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, responded that, "If God has, by his grace and mercy, conferred his love and nearness to me, is it not my duty in return to be always rendering thanks to him? Gratitude should increase in proportion to the favors received." The Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, suffered more than most. He undertook trial after trial and always relied on Allah. When his followers were persecuted for worshipping the one God, he felt their pain. When his followers were being dragged along a burning road, it was like the Holy Prophet was being dragged. It even felt pain for his persecutors, that he knew they would be punished by the wrath of Allah. If possible, he wanted to prevent this wrath and begged Allah to forgive them. What a difficult position he stood in, as he was pained by the persecution he faced, his followers and also his persecutors. But he bore all this pain and prayed for Allah to forgive them and help his message be accepted. When the persecution became severe, he sent his followers to Abyssinia, but he himself refused to leave without permission from Allah. The same thing happened with Medina. He sent his followers to settle there, but stayed behind and remained steadfast until permission finally came. When he left Mecca along with Hazrat Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, they were chased by Meccans, but he remained steadfast and put his full trust in Allah. When the Quraysh was outside the cave they were hiding in, Hazrat Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, feared that they were going to be caught, but the Holy Prophet reassured him not to worry, God is with us. Such was the love he had for his Maker, and Allah was always with him. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, was so in love with Allah, that like any lover, he longed to be near or hear words from his lover. Despite the Holy Quran being revealed to him, he never tired of listening to it. Once he requested Abdullah bin Masud, may Allah be pleased with him, to recite some verses from Surah Nisa. When recited, And how will it fare with them when we shall bring a witness from every people and shall bring thee as a witness against them? Chapter 4, verse 42. The Holy Prophet cried, Enough! Enough! Tears were streaming from his eyes. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, was always zealous about the honor of Allah. When the Quraysh tried to get him to give up his mission and put pressure on the Holy Prophet's uncle Abu Talib to get him to give up his mission, the Holy Prophet replied to uncle, If these people were to place the sun on my right hand and the moon on my left, I would not desist from proclaiming and preaching the unity of God. During the Battle of Uhud, after his enemies had come back from certain defeat to victory, they taunted the Muslims claiming they had killed the Holy Prophet, Hazrat Abu Bakr, and Hazrat Umar. They were all alive, but the Holy Prophet told the Muslims to keep quiet. But once the Quraysh cried out glory to Hubal, Hubal being one of the chief idols that they worshipped, despite injuries they had and being in a weakened position, the Holy Prophet told the Muslims to shout out, To Allah alone belongs victory and glory. The Meccans could have attacked and destroyed them, but this cry put fear in their hearts, as they knew they couldn't defeat the Muslims who were protected by Allah, and they left the battlefield knowing that the Holy Prophet was still alive. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, had perfect trust in Allah. Once he was sleeping under a tree and his companions also slept. An enemy approached and found him asleep and unguarded and took out his sword to kill him. He asked the Holy Prophet, Who can save you from this predicament? The Holy Prophet firmly replied, Allah. Upon hearing this response, the man dropped his sword. The Holy Prophet picked it up and said the same to him. He replied, No one. The Holy Prophet then admonished him that he too should have said Allah. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, always strived to win any blessings from Allah and was always grateful. When it rained, he would stick out his tongue to catch the raindrops and would say, Here is the latest favor from my Lord. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, used to say, For a Muslim, life is full of all good and nobody, but a true believer finds himself in that position. For if he meets with success, he is grateful to God and becomes the recipient of greater favors from him. On the other hand, if he suffers pain or tribulations, he endures it with patience and thus again makes himself deserving of God's favors. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, lived his whole life in the presence of God. Once his mission was complete, he said, A servant of the Lord was granted a choice to stay on a little longer upon the earth or to return to him forthwith, and he preferred the latter. When his end came near, he calmed his daughter Fatima, who couldn't bear seeing him suffer, and said, Have patience. Your father will suffer no pain after this day. Meaning that all his troubles were confined to this world, and from the moment that he was released from this life and entered the presence of his Maker, he would be subjected to no further pain. It is important for us to learn from his wonderful life. We all face trial and tribulations. We must turn to Allah, be patient and steadfast, and seek His forgiveness and pleasure. We should always be a thankful servant of Allah and keep striving to win His nearness and favors. If so, then we will meet with success in this life and next.